Hello, couplets. Welcome back to another Bear with me, BearElliott. Hail Caesar! Now, this movie just recently came out, and it's hit the box office, and it's doing... But it has a lot of big stars. We're talking Scarlett Johansson, we're talking Channing Tatum, we're talking George Clooney, we're talking everybody and anybody that's in this movie. It's a smorgasbord of Hollywood's big leagues that's going on. The only thing it was missing was Julia Roberts. I was kind of shocked that she didn't somehow make a cameo in it. But Hail Caesar takes place in the golden age of the movie industry. And we basically follow the main character who is the head of the studio, and his whole job and his whole life revolves around putting out fires at the studio. So that could be starlets acting up and the occasional homosexual rumors or flings that happen to take place back in the golden age of the Hollywood. They don't want that to get out. So his whole job is to put out these scandals and to make sure the studio is running on budget and that everyone is where they should be and dealing with a lot of insane characters. And artists, we're very artistic back then when film was an expression of art. Well, and also to make money. So this is what this story's basically all about. So we're following around this main character and dealing with all of these separate little storylines in the movie. Now, the advertisement for this movie is slightly misleading. Now, it could be that it just went over my head and there's no hair to grab a hold of, so I totally missed the point to it. So bear with me that maybe it's just my own ignorance that I didn't really get this movie, but it was very odd. If the whole end results to this movie was basically for the producers and the director wanted you to leave Hail Caesar and be like, that was interesting. And to have a conversation of, okay, what happened in the last 2 hours of my life? Because there are humorous parts. Like, there's a whole Channing Tatum. He is doing a dancing musical with a whole bunch of very hot sailors, and it's very homoerotic. And when you look back at these musicals of the Golden Age, they are very homoerotic. And you're watching going, okay, why did that fit in? And now at the end, several of the storylines do tie together. But there is one storyline that made no sense. So it's Scarlett Johansson's character who plays Bugley's Berkeley, where's the big water ballet thing where it's women jumping in the water and doing the water ballet and that kind of crap. As you can tell, I'm a bad gay when it comes to my classic movies. I'm not really into them that much. But she plays a character who has a child from an illegitimate child. I couldn't really tell if it was from past marriage or if it was a breakup. That's her thing that the head of the studio has to deal with. And her storyline doesn't really fit in with any of the other characters, really. The only reason I think is they have Scarlett Johansson in this movie is simply for the fact that this movie is a sausage fest, and they needed a popular female actress to put in this movie just to have her put in this movie. Because her storyline could not even exist in this movie, and you would not notice it. It made no sense. It did not tie to anything else that took place in this movie. So I didn't really understand that. Now at the end, so you have this undercurrent that was actually playing off in the real golden age of movies was communism. It was cool to be a communist. So you have these characters that at the end, like George Clooney's character gets kidnapped because it's a whole communist plot to get money. And then you have one of the other actors who ends up being a communist. And also there's this whole homosexual rumors about George Clooney's character and the Channing Tatum's character and another director. Then you have this other, it's a classic musical cowboy character, very popular in the Golden Age. So it's like taking these archetype characters from these movies that were very popular. Like you have the Julius Caesar characters, you have the historical period piece, you have the big musical dancing guy, you have the cowboy, you have the starlet who just is kind of white trash. So you have all these different characters, and their storylines interact slightly. But the movie was funny in points, but I was expecting a laugh-a-minute comedy. It's not really that. It's more of a thinker piece that they're trying to masquerade as a comedy. And that's what you're left with going, huh, interesting. So Hail Caesar is one of these movies that I would personally wait until it comes on like HBO to go or Netflix or something that you have nothing else to watch and that you're left with, hey, this is a George Clooney movie, or hey, Tatum's really hot, so I'm going to watch that. That's kind of what you're left with. Now, out of my 5-paw review, I'm giving this one a 2 because the acting is good. It left you thinking, so you're like, okay, what was this all about? But the story didn't go anywhere. You're left at the end where, okay, really nothing happened. There's no change in really any of the characters, well, pretty much any of the characters' lives. And there was no investing in these characters. Why do I care that they're communists? Why do I care that they're kidnapping George Clooney? You end up not really caring all that much. So yeah, it's a 2. So stick with me. We still have a lot more movies to go through 2016, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Cublet!
I could go out in the darkness, see you calling my name. I hear you shouting, hear you calling, but it's not the same. Every word that you're throwing right into my back doesn't matter to me, cause I'm keeping my track. Let me go, let me go.